Welcome back everyone. The OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro just got announced and they're going to be coming out in a couple of weeks. Actually, if you live in Europe and some other countries, they're already available for pre-order. And I want to do a quick little comparison between the OnePlus 8 Pro and the OnePlus 7 Pro, the one that came out last year, and see what the major differences are. And if you have a OnePlus 7 Pro, should you go update and upgrade to an 8 Pro? And we'll go ahead and talk about all that stuff. Now, I'm going to go ahead and buy the 8 Pro and 8 unless OnePlus sends it to me. Hopefully they do. They probably won't though. I will tell you though, the OnePlus 7 Pro you can pick up on Amazon for about $570, give or take. It could be cheaper by the time you're watching this comparison. It could be more expensive, but that is about a little bit more than half the price that the OnePlus 8 Pro top tier model is selling for. So the 128 gig model of the 8 Pro is selling for $899. The top tier model is selling for $999, and that might be the biggest differentiating factor. They used to be, kind of more like on par with the budget-friendly devices, but now they're kind of going up top tier. But you still have the OnePlus 8 if you want to go and pick that one up for the $699 that one is selling for the base model. Now, looking on the front, the major change that I was able to see for the most part is that not only did the size of the screen get a little bit bigger, we had a 6.67-inch Fluid AMOLED display, 1440p on the OnePlus 7 Pro, but on the OnePlus 8 Pro we have a 6.78-inch Fluid AMOLED display. That one is still 1440p, but the biggest difference is that you have that new 120Hz refresh rate on the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is on par with something like the Galaxy S20 and those phones like that, whereas on the OnePlus 7 Pro we only have that 90Hz refresh rate, which is still perfectly fine. That's still a very good refresh rate in my opinion. That's not bad at all. What I will tell you though is that another big thing is that the 7 Pro had that pop-up camera on the front-facing camera. The OnePlus 8 Pro does not have that anymore. They actually opted for that hole punch display, which is still perfectly fine in my opinion. I really don't persuade each way. I kind of like the OnePlus 8 Pro, to be honest, in terms of that specific thing. I like the 7 Pro's popping up camera, but I just felt like it could get broken anytime I used it. So those are pretty much the major changes on the front. Still have that fingerprint sensor in the display and all that. In terms of software, we still have Oxygen OS, so nothing really changed there. On the keynote, they did kind of hit on Oxygen OS briefly, and I still say that it's still one of my favorite softwares out there. I love Oxygen OS a lot, but theoretically the OnePlus 8 Pro should last an extra year on top of software updates than the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, in terms of the performance and the specs inside, the OnePlus 7 Pro had the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset and Adreno 640 GPU, and there were a couple different models. The base model had 6 gigs of RAM, then you had that 8 gig RAM option, then that top tier 12 gig option, whereas on the OnePlus 8 Pro we have that base model 8 gig of RAM option and that top tier model with 12 gigs. So there's only 2 models of the 8 Pro, where there were 3 on the 7 Pro. Maybe not that big of a deal, but in terms of performance, you can already kind of see that these OnePlus 8 Pro will definitely be a better performing device for the most part. The 7 Pro, I mess with it still sometimes. I just dropped that other video about it, and it's a very good performing device still. It's smooth. It's just really nothing is broken about it. It's perfectly fine. So if it's any better than the 7 Pro, I will be super happy about that. But I'll go more in depth about the performance and everything once I get my hands on it. Now, another major change was with the camera. So with the OnePlus 7 Pro, we had a triple camera setup, 48 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel telephoto, and then 16 megapixel ultra wide. On the OnePlus 8 Pro, we have a 4 camera setup kind of. So a 48 megapixel wide angle lens, an 8 megapixel telephoto lens, a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and then another 5 megapixel depth sensor. And I feel like that telephoto lens, they could have, opted for a higher megapixel count. Not a big deal. I'm not going to freak out about it too much, but that's just something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They said that there's still 4K at 60 on both. I'm surprised they didn't go for an 8K lens on this, but they could probably update it later on this year when they do the OnePlus 9 or whatever they're going to call it, OnePlus 8T. But for sure, at the end of the day, the camera quality should be better on the OnePlus 8 Pro. But again, I'll go ahead and test that further once I get my hands on it. In terms of battery, 4,000 mAh battery on the OnePlus 7 Pro, 4,510 mAh battery on the OnePlus 8 Pro. And the coolest thing is that we now have wireless charging on the OnePlus 8 Pro. We didn't have that on the 7 Pro, but now we have it on the 8 Pro, which is a really cool thing. And battery life will definitely be better on the OnePlus 8 Pro than the 7 Pro. Another big thing, we do now have IP certification on the 8 Pro as well, which is really, really cool. So at the end of the day, for sure, OnePlus 8 Pro is the better phone. but also the 7 Pro is substantially cheaper. So if you want to go and pick one up now, you can pick up a 7 Pro. It'll be cheaper and you can just get it now instead of having to wait a little bit longer. But for sure, at the end of the day, I think the OnePlus 8 Pro is the better phone, but it is a little bit more expensive. So once I get my hands on it, I'll go ahead and do a full comparison, but that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I got you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.